yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships, like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Because you know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight.
Coward.
Go ahead.
So you want me to pay you $30 million to play 30 games? Hell no.
Right.
No. 80 games is fine, because I did it, Jerry West did it, Kareem did it, Magic did it, Bird did it, Bernard King, like all the great legends before us did it.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
The NBA just witnessed something nobody saw coming. Shaquille O'Neal dropped a statement so powerful that it exposed the hypocrisy at the heart of modern basketball. And when the dust settled, LeBron James and Kevin Durant were standing in the wreckage, caught red-handed in their own contradictions. What makes this even crazier? The timing. Because right when Shaq's challenging today's stars to actually show up for work, LeBron and KD are on a podcast mocking legends, rewriting history, and disrespecting the very foundation that built their billion-dollar empires. The explosion started when Shaq was asked a simple question about load management. His response wasn't political, it wasn't calculated, it was pure, unfiltered truth. So you want me to pay you $30 million to play 30 games? Hell no. The way he said it, you could feel decades of frustration boiling over. Then he went further, naming the icons who paved the road. Jerry West, who played with injuries that would sideline players for months today. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, grinding through seasons with equipment and training methods from the Stone Age compared to what's available now. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, sacrificing their bodies nightly while earning what today's bench warmers make.
Garth Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy, because that's what basketball is all about.
Bird takes it away from Wilkins, goes to the floor and gets it up ahead.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. Like, and so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twist my ankle, and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you know, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. You know, this is, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. You know, I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
It might not be in the team's best interest, in your best interest, to play all 82. Is that something you've thought about at all since you made the goal?
That's a goal, but yeah, we'll see.
The next day.
I'm available to go and be in the pro. If OBJ shows up, he might score 100.
These Warriors built the NBA into a global phenomenon, creating the revenue streams that now pay players more in one season than those legends made in entire careers. Someone pressed Shaq on whether the season has too many games. His answer cut like a knife. Nope, if we had to do it, they have to do it. Translation: stop complaining about getting paid generational wealth to play a game a few nights a week. The old guard dealt with brutal physicality, primitive medicine, cross-country flights and economy seats, and paychecks that wouldn't cover a modern player's monthly car payment. Yet they never whined, never invented excuses, never treated showing up like some heroic sacrifice.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
But the modern NBA couldn't handle the truth. Draymond Green immediately pushed back, defending the culture of sitting out healthy. Austin Rivers jumped in with the classic deflection. When asked about enforcing minimum games played, Rivers scoffed, "That's ridiculous. The older guys played all the games. That's cool, and now they walk around and their knees touch." There it is. The defense modern millionaires hide behind, they claim. Protecting their bodies justifies abandoning fans who mortgage their paychecks for tickets, as if collecting $50 million annually to play a game requires preserving yourself like some endangered species.
This rest stuff just drives me crazy. You're playing basketball for a living, okay? I understand if you're working in a coal mine that you may need a rest day after it. You're playing basketball.
Nikola Jokic took it further, basically admitting he thinks being required to compete is unfair.
I mean, definitely forcing players to play. We saw what happened with the Joel. But it's something that probably league wants to. I don't know.
definitely forcing players to play. We saw what happened. But it's something the league probably wants to, I don't know, he literally admitted he doesn't want to be on the court unless the mood strikes him. This is what Shaq's attacking. The entitlement epidemic, players complaining about workload while signing contracts that would fund small nations. The average NBA salary crossed $10 million this season. Max deals are approaching $60 million yearly. Guys are sitting because they're tired from playing a game 3 days ago. Meanwhile, working people buy those overpriced tickets expecting to see stars, only to discover their favorite player is load managing while perfectly healthy. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. Right as Shaq's calling out modern softness, LeBron James is hosting his Mind the Game podcast with Kevin Durant and Steve Nash, and they decided it was the perfect moment to diminish Michael Jordan's legacy. Durant started discussing the mental challenge of sustaining greatness across decades. You're 10, 12 years in, you've got 4 MVPs, 4 championships, but do you still want to do this? Some people say, I want to go play baseball, and then I want to come back. Some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. Watch LeBron's face in that moment, the instant smirk, the knowing laugh. They're not being subtle. They're directly contrasting Jordan's baseball retirement with LeBron's uninterrupted career, framing longevity as superior to peak dominance. Then LeBron drops the line that reveals everything. It's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Think about the audacity of that statement. This is a man who basketball transformed from an Akron kid into a billionaire with global influence. The sport gave him literally everything, and he's casually dismissing it as just a game. Jordan never spoke that way. When asked about his approach, Jordan said he played at 110% all the time because basketball wasn't just a paycheck or a platform, it was his identity, his obsession, his reason for existing.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times.
To have a long career, that's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal.
You know, it's all about winning championships and winning.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
LeBron continued undermining Jordan's era by claiming the triangle offense wouldn't work today because modern basketball is too advanced. He's essentially arguing that his generation faced tougher competition, more complex schemes, superior athletes. Then came the real reveal. LeBron questioned why championships dominate basketball conversations. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the all-be-all of everything. Coming from someone who formed super teams in Miami, recruited stars to Cleveland, then jumped to the Lakers when things got tough. Why is he suddenly downplaying rings? Simple, he knows he'll never catch Jordan's 6. So now he's attempting to change the criteria, shifting focus to longevity and accumulated stats rather than winning.
All right, Laker Nerd asks, why is the triangle offense less utilized in today's game?
To try to run the triangle offense right now, it'd be very challenging, just because how the game is played and also how defense is covering.
10 to shoot. Jake going right to the rack. No defensive communication.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
Why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
Yeah, it's funny, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the all be all of everything.
Like you mentioned a little bit about today's game, because we had Club on here and he talked about load management. He said, I don't know what the hell that is. Where is it going? And that's number one. And number two, how do we get it back?
Even for me, I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? And then the stars are not playing because of load management. It's hurting the game.
Larry Bird once shared a story that perfectly captures the old mentality. Artist Gilmore told him, if you want to last in the league, stop diving for every loose ball. Bird thought Gilmore was insane because hustling for every possession defined basketball's essence. Bird understood what Durant and LeBron don't. The game isn't about self-preservation for year 20. It's about emptying your tank nightly, sacrificing your body for victory, leaving everything on the hardwood, regardless of consequences. That's why Bird played only 13 seasons, why Jordan played 13 full seasons. They destroyed themselves chasing championships instead of chasing paychecks and Instagram longevity. LeBron recently hinted he's already considering the load management moving forward. When asked if 82 games remains achievable, he said, that's a goal, but we'll see. Already planting seeds for future absences. Creating cover for games he'll skip while healthy. Jordan viewed the NBA differently. You play basketball 3 hours a day. That's your job. What are you doing the other 21 hours? That's when you should be preparing. Jordan grasped something modern stars refuse to accept. Being an NBA player is extraordinary privilege, not burden requiring constant rest. You're paid millions to compete in a game. The minimum requirement should be consistent availability. Jordan took that seriously in ways today's players can't comprehend. The fans work hard to afford tickets. I want to impress that guy in the top row who probably spent money he couldn't afford to see me play. He cared about opposing fans, too. When asked if he really cared about people booing him, Jordan said, absolutely. I know he's probably yelling at me. I want to shut him up with my performance. Even Tracy McGrady from a more recent generation understood respecting competition. There's no way I was taking load management when Kobe, AI, Paul Pierce, or Vince came to my building. McGrady knew sitting out against legends disrespected the game and wasted opportunities to prove himself against the best. Now here's the part Durant and LeBron hope you forget that baseball comment Durant made. It deliberately ignores the most painful context imaginable. Jordan didn't retire because he was bored or needed a break from basketball's grind. His father was murdered July 23rd, 1993. James Jordan stopped at a highway rest area in North Carolina to sleep. 2 teenagers shot him, stole his Lexus, and dumped his body in a swamp. The man who pushed Michael to greatness, who believed in him when others doubted, who was there for every triumph, was gone, murdered for a car. And Michael Jordan, dominating the basketball universe at 30 years old, fresh off a 3rd straight championship, walked away from this sport to honor his father's memory, to pursue baseball, the game James Jordan loved and always envisioned for his son. So when Kevin Durant casually drops, "Some people play baseball," with that condescending smirk, he's mocking one of the most heartbreaking decisions in sports history, and LeBron laughing right along with it? That's co-signing the disrespect. Let's examine Jordan's retirement timing. Did he quit after struggling, after playoff failures, after his team collapsed? No, Jordan retired after accomplishing something Magic Johnson never did, something Larry Bird never achieved, something Isaiah Thomas couldn't reach, a three-peat, 3 consecutive championships when everyone said it was impossible in the modern era, and he did it while processing trauma that would break most people, while grieving a father stolen violently, while carrying pain beyond imagination. The irony is almost too perfect. Who's criticizing Jordan? Kevin Durant, owner of perhaps the weakest superstar move in NBA history. In 2016, after the Warriors eliminated his Thunder in the playoffs, Durant joined the 73-win team that beat him. The squad already featuring Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Fans universally consider it the most spineless decision ever made. And it didn't stop. Durant quit on Brooklyn when pressure mounted, demanded trades, couldn't handle expectations, ran to Phoenix. This man is calling Michael Jordan a quitter. Then there's LeBron. When Cleveland got tough initially, when Boston blocked his path, he announced his talents were going to South Beach, formed a super team with Wade and Bosh rather than building something organically. When Miami's window closed in 2014, he bolted back to Cleveland without giving Riley a chance to rebuild. When that situation deteriorated, he escaped to Los Angeles. Every adversity, every challenge, every obstacle led to the same response. Find the exit, switch teams, take the easier path, and this is who's laughing at Michael Jordan's sacrifice. Charles Barkley cut through the noise with brutal honesty. These guys hide behind analytics from their agents. What they're really trying to do is extend careers. Depending on who you are, you could make another $500 to $700 million if you extend your career 2 or 3 years. Jordan never chased longevity. He chased perfection. Every season had one objective: maximize his abilities, elevate his team, win championships, dominate both ends of the floor, be the undisputed best player alive every single night. Jordan played 15 years total, realistically only 13 full seasons accounting for retirements. In that time, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 9 all-defensive teams.
Couldn't believe that an NBA player could make $1 million. And now these guys are so lucky and blessed, and they can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. And I know they hide behind all the analytical bullshit from their agents and people like that. What they're really trying to do is extend their career. The way the money's been and going, depending on who you are, you're going to be able to make another $50, $70, $100 million and probably more going forward if you can extend your career 2 or 3 years.
That's not just excellence. That's sustained perfection across a decade. Now examine Durant and LeBron combined. 39 seasons between them, nearly 3 times Jordan's peak period. 4 decades of basketball, their combined accomplishments: 6 championships, 5 MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, 5 scoring titles, 5 all-defensive selections total. In nearly 40 years, they achieved less than Jordan accomplished in basically 10, double the duration, half the dominance. Fast forward to October 2025, Michael Jordan appears on NBC's Insights to Excellence series. Asked directly about load management, about the modern trend of skipping games, Jordan didn't hold back. It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. I never wanted to miss games because fans worked hard for those tickets. I wanted to impress that person way up top who probably spent money they couldn't afford. Jordan cared about every fan in the building, even the haters, especially the haters. I know he's probably yelling at me. I want to shut him up. He viewed hostile crowds as motivation, as challenges begging to be conquered. Jordan referenced the legendary 1997 flu game. Game 5, NBA Finals, Utah Jazz. Jordan was violently ill with suspected food poisoning, bedridden until 90 minutes before tip-off. Skipped warm-ups entirely, then scored 38 points, leading Chicago to victory, putting them one win from another title. After the buzzer, he collapsed onto Scottie Pippen, completely drained. I was going to find a way out there even as a decoy. Once you're competing, pushing yourself, you never know what happens. The emotions, the situation, the team's need, all of that catapulted me to gut it out. Jordan played 82 games, 6 different seasons, at least 80 games 9 times. He played fewer than 80 only 4 times, including when he broke his foot as a sophomore, when he returned midseason from retirement, and his final years. The NBA eventually had to intervene because load management spiraled out of control. They implemented a 65-game minimum for awards eligibility. Want MVP consideration? Make an all-NBA team play at least 65 games. The league acknowledged it's damaging the product. Fans paying premium prices deserve to see stars perform, but players keep sitting, keep inventing excuses, keep treating availability like optional. The philosophical chasm between generations couldn't be wider. Jordan's era believed in honoring the game, respecting fans who made everything possible, showing up every night regardless of circumstances. The modern era believes in body preservation, career extension, maximizing earnings across maximum years. Yes, science supports rest and recovery. Players are bigger, faster, stronger than ever, creating more physical stress. But Jordan's era featured more physical play, more contact, harder fouls, hand-checking every possession. Today's players have every advantage, every technology, every resource imaginable, yet they complain more than any previous generation. Shaq's generation built this league, created the foundation, made billion-dollar contracts possible, fought for better conditions, better pay, better treatment. Modern players reap all rewards while disrespecting the foundation. Studies even show load management doesn't prevent injuries as advertised. The NBA commissioned research finding no link between sitting and reduced injury risk. Players sit anyway, not because science demands it, because they don't feel like competing. So yeah, Shaquille O'Neal just exposed LeBron James and Kevin Durant's biggest lie. Not just by challenging load management, by reminding everyone what genuine legends embodied, what true competitors represented. Shaq, Jordan, Bird, Magic never made excuses, never skipped games, never mocked predecessors, never dismissed tragedies for podcast laughs. They honored basketball. Respected fans financing their careers showed up every night and emptied the tank. Meanwhile, Durant and LeBron run when adversity strikes, form super teams when individual success proves difficult, sit when they're tired, mock the greatest player ever, then pretend longevity with fewer accomplishments equals greatness. The conversation continues. The debate rages, but one truth stands absolutely certain. When evaluating dedication, when measuring respect for the game, when judging who truly honored basketball's essence, Shaq and Jordan stand on one side. LeBron and Durant stand on the complete opposite. If you think Shaq's exposing the truth modern players refuse to accept, drop a comment. And if you want more reality checks on what's actually happening in basketball, subscribe, because this story is far from finished.